Hi everyone. So today we are going to solve a very famous lead code question on two pointers, which is trapping rainwater. So the way we are going to solve this is we have to know that at any certain index I can only store water if both of the boundaries, you know, beside that particular index have longer vertical bars. That's the intuition behind the entire problem. And moving on, so I've just visualize you're given an array with, let's say, the height of the vertical bars, let's say 4, 2, 0, 3, 2, and 5. So these are the height of vertical bars, and you do see spaces here, but in reality there are no spaces. So this is just for visualization purpose. Now what we do is we are going to have initialize a left max variable and a right max variable. So when we initialize this, our left max would be the height of the 0th index element. So in this case it's 4, and right max would be the height of the last element, the last element value, which is 5 here. So initially our left pointer will be at first and a right pointer will be at last second index. So this is how it is. Our result is going to store the total water trapped thus far, and here we can see that our left max value is less than right max value, right? So we can calculate the waterfall at left. How do we calculate it? So what we do is we will take the we will subtract the left max value, and we will subtract the height at left with it. So we get 4 minus 2, since height of at first index is 2. So we subtract this, we get 2. So here, which is at index 1, we can store 2 units of water, right? Since we have calculated the water that can be stored at index 1, so we will increment left pointer. So when we increment a left pointer now, what happens is we had 0 value here, which was height at 2 was 0. Now our left max is less than right max. So what we do is we calculate the water that can be trapped at this index, and of course if it's greater than 0, only then will we add it to our result. So now what happens is we do left max minus height at left. So height at left is 0 and left max is 4. So what do we get? We get 4. So left water is 4. So at index 2, we can store 4 units of water. So we add that to the result. Result is an accumulator here. So now since we have calculated for index 2, we are going to increment left. Now when we increment left, what happens is, again our left max is less than right max. So we can calculate the water that can be trapped at left, right? So here we will minus our left max, which is 4, minus height at 3, which is 3. We get 1. So 1 unit of water can be stored at index 3, right? We'll add that to result. Now since we've calculated for left, we'll increment left pointer. When we do that, our right and left point to the same index, 4. Now what we do is our left max is again less than right max. I forgot mentioning, we will at every step, whatever data that we are processing, either left or right, we are always going to check for the leftist element or the rightest element seen thus far, maximum element seen thus far. So our left max will store the maximum left element seen so far, and our right max will store the maximum right value seen so far. So now we'll do 4 minus height at 4, which is 2. So we get 2. So that's our left water. So we can store 2 units of water at index 4, and we add that to the result. Now what happens, since we processed it for left, we are going to again increment the left pointer. But now since my left is greater than right, we will stop the loop and we'll return the result. Now coming to the code part, we see that we have initialized our left to 1 and right to height dot length minus 2. We always know that we can only store water at a certain index if both of the boundaries have larger, taller vertical lines. So initially our left max would be height of 0 and our right max would be last element value, right? So initially our result is 0. That's the water we have trapped thus far, and this is the while loop that we are going to iterate until left is less than equal to right. When this condition is false, we are going to come out of the loop and return the result. Now what do we check here? We check if left max is less than right max. What do? We add left max minus height of left if greater than 0 to the result, since that is the amount of water that can be stored from the left side. And left max will always be calculated, and then we increment left. Else, if left max was greater than right max, what we would have done, we would have similarly calculated right water that can be stored from at right. So what we would have done, right max minus height at right. If this was greater than 0, we would have added it to result. And then we would also check right max, which would be mat of maximum value of height of right and right max, and decrement right pointer. So this was the code. I hope I was able to explain this question nicely. Thank you for watching. Bye.